On Friday night at Dog Hollow Speedway, Jason Covert won the Super Late Model feature to guarantee himself a spot in next week's World of Outlaws show at the track. The winner of Sunday's UFO Series race was also assured of a spot when the Outlaws come to town. Let's see who that was. 25 cars started the special 45-lap event. At the drop of the green, outside pole sitter Devin Freeze gets a jump on Jason Covert in the yellow 43. Off of turn 2 and down the backstretch, Freeze is able to clear Covert and claim the lead. On the next lap, we have Jared Miley in the H1 to the inside of Danny Mitchell as they contest the 5th position and head into turns 3 and 4. One lap later, Sammy Stile in the black number 2 challenges Mitchell for 6th going into 1 and 2. As Stile clears Mitchell, Boom Briggs in the 99 also looks to move up a position. Up front, Freeze is already encountering the back of the field, yet still has a few car lengths lead on Covert as they come down to complete another lap. At this point, Jeremy Miller is holding the 3rd position and not far behind the 2 leaders. Lap 10 would see the first of many cautions. On the restart, Freeze chooses the outer lane and quickly pulls away from Covert. Meanwhile, Miller also looks to run the top side in an effort to gain the runner-up position. Covert settles into 3rd place on the backstretch. Briggs would get by the 3 of Dan Swartzlander to take over the 5th spot. Going into turn 3, Stile closes on Swartzlander while the 37 of Jared Hawkins races the 88 of Scott Rhodes for a position. At the front of the field, Miller continues to dog Freeze for the lead, yet Freeze is able to withstand the challenge by running the topside lap after lap. On a lap 16 restart, Freeze once again chooses the outer lane when the green is dropped. Covert briefly runs door-to-door with Miller before sliding up in 1 and 2. Freeze has a couple of car lengths on Miller going down the backstretch. Hawkins, Rhodes, and Stile would continue their fight for positions just outside of the top 5. Although Freeze's car worked well on the top side, Miller was able to close the gap several times. Rodney Phillips came to a stop in turn 4 on lap 19 to bring out the yellow. In what looked like a repeat of the previous restart, Freeze holds on to the lead while Covert closes on Miller. This time, though, Miley is able to move underneath Covert and secure the 3rd spot. Behind them, Jared Hawkins and Briggs race for 5th place. As was the pattern for several laps, Miller worked the inside of Freeze and even led a couple of laps. Freeze was simply hooked up on the top. The middle portion of the feature saw many cautions, which started to thin out the field. And each time, Freeze would get a great restart on Miller, while the battles from 3rd on back were heavily contested. Cautions continued to fly and many cars started to retire for the evening, such as Mitchell, the 81 of Dwayne Tannehill, and Sammy Stile to name a few. While Miller was relentless in pursuing Freeze for the lead, the 0 of Ron Delano Jr. was quietly moving up through the field from his 13th starting position. However, with 9 laps to go, Miller's night came to an end with engine problems. The race went green the rest of the way, and just like Jeremy Miller had earlier, Jason Covert was able to pressure Freeze for the lead lap after lap, yet could not take sole possession of the spot. Delano would eventually get by Jared Hawkins to claim the 4th position. On the last lap, Covert is door-to-door with Freeze exiting turn 2. As they enter turn 3, Covert loses a little ground and Freeze is able to charge off of turn 4 to pick up the win by a little over a car length. Congratulations, Devin, after winning your first UFO Series race last week at Roaring Knob, your 2nd one here, and you earned it. Although you started up front, you really earned that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one, you know, racing early on with Jeremy Miller there, and then at the end with Jason Covert. You know, it was good, hard racing and clean racing, and you know, we had the preferred line, I believe, around the track, and you know, we were able to hold on and win.
We had a rash of cautions there in the middle of the race, and each time you beat Miller on the restarts, are you thinking, okay, is this the time he gets me?
Yeah, I was worried about the long green runs. I thought he was a little better than I was on long runs. You know, the cautions fell right for us, so we'd run a couple laps and let my tires cool back down, and I think that's why we were getting such good restarts. But, you know, I hate to see him break like that. I'd rather beat him on the track than something happened to him, you know. But then as soon as he went off the track, Jason come rolling beside me, so, you know, it was just a good, fun night racing.
I was going to say, although we had a lot of attrition tonight, there's a strong field of cars. So no sooner as Jeremy fall out, you got to contend with Covert.
Yeah, you never get a chance to take a break because if it ain't somebody, it's somebody else. And you know, with the quality of drivers that are out here in cars, you know, it feels good to beat these guys.
And you have a guaranteed spot in the World of Outlaws show now, so I'm sure you'll be here.
Yeah, we will be here. Guaranteed starter, so that helps out. At least you know you're coming, going to make the show. So it's a Tuesday night, and we'll be here.
Now, you won 2 in a row here, leading the points. What's happened here all of a sudden that so competitive and winning?
We've been good all year and real consistent, and you know, we just needed to make some small tweaks to the car, which we've been doing. And you know, my brother Trevor and Marshall, they bust their butts all week long at the shop, and you know, I don't get there. You know, I basically show up and go racing, and without them, you know, we wouldn't be here. And they're hard work, and they're preparing their cars very well at the shop for us when we leave, and that's what's paying off for us.
So Devin Freese picks up his 2nd consecutive UFO Series win, with Jason Covert coming home a close 2nd. Jared Miley was 3rd, followed by Ron Delano Jr. and Jared Hawkins. The Outlaws will be at Dog Hollow next Tuesday, followed by a visit to McKean County Raceway the next day. Up next, 410 Sprints in their first ever visit to Dog Hollow. That and more when Pit Pass returns.
When you think golf carts, think Jake's Custom Golf Carts. With over 300 stock and lifted carts at their shop, you'll find the cart you need or have Jake's build one to your specs. Custom airbrushing, lift kits, sport shifters, rear seats. You name it, with the expertise and craftsmanship people have come to expect from Jake's. Come see for yourself why Jake's is the nation's premier golf cart provider. Jake's Golf Carts, Route 522 McVeigh Town. Online at jakesgolfcarts.com.